I'm a bit upset, like, I thought we had the office green screen with the blue screen on, do we not?
I'm pretty sure that's reversible.
Is it?
Yeah.
So, nearby Nisha.
Hello.
Today I've got, a nice video to talk to you about some animals.
Ooh.
Would you like to know what animals we're talking about?
Please, yeah.
I'm going to be talking about puffins.
Ooh.
But more specifically, them getting launched off cliffs.
Why? Why do you do this?
Because, Nisha, it's actually something to do to help them, to save them.
Oh, thank God.
So yeah, it sounds really bad when you're like, people launch puffins off cliffs.
Yeah.
But they do it to save them because I think, as far as I can tell from, the little bit of research we do, that it happens in multiple places in Iceland and like maybe other places in that location. But the main town I could find, I'm going to have to try and pronounce now.
Oh.
Excuse me if I get this wrong, but I believe it's like vestmannaeyjar. Many people will be correcting me in the comments. Apologies, I don't know how to say that word. But essentially, the pufflings, which are like, the fledgling puffins,
Aww.
what is meant to happen when they are fledglings is that they fly out to the sea and then they'll spend out like their next few years being like seabirds before they come back and like as full adults and stuff. But, because humans are horrible people that have destroyed planet Earth, they now get confused and don't fly to the moon. Some of them fly towards the city, like the town lights, and end up stuck at town.
Oh no.
So basically, every summer, I believe it's around August time, everyone in the town like comes together to go on puffin hunts of a night, and they'll like box them up safely and put them out for the next day, and then it's like a tradition to have like, loads of like people out on cliff edges making sure that they get back to sea safely.
Oh, I've like, throughout this conversation, like I've just had these images in my head. The first one was horrible because it's that scene, I can't remember which documentary it was on, where the seals were just falling off the cliffs.
Oh god.
So that's horrible.
Yeah.
And then when you were saying they get together and like basically launch them, I'm thinking of that scene from Tangled where they do the lanterns.
Oh god, everyone just landing. That's the worst thing as well, is because like obviously they trust the puffins to fly. Some of the little kids that get to throw them, they're proper like throwing them up, and the puffins like barely making it to water, and I'm sitting there watching these videos like, oh.
I'm gonna have to watch these videos now. Just
It's
I've
like
never
some
seen
people
that.
proper like underarm throw them, and then other people grab them like a rugby ball, and they're like, whoa, just launch them. Which is better for getting them to sea, I suppose, because you're not just sending them straight up. But most of them obviously can like have some ability to fly at this point and can kind of make sure they make their way to water, obviously.
Oh my god! At least it's not like putting them in like cannons and stuff like.
Just get a puffin cannon. That's terrifying. Do you send them in one at a time, or do you just like cram as many in the barrel as you can? Or what?
I just like imagine you could make a funny skit out of that. Like it starts off with people launching puffins, the actual way they should do it, and it just gets more and more ridiculous.
It starts with like slingshot and then trebuchets, and it's like, no, we can get better. Get cannons. Get cannons.
Well, speaking of like when you said throwing like a rugby ball, I thought it was someone with a tennis racket just throwing one up and going.
That's so mean. Like how you started out as like, oh no, not the puffins, and now you're like hitting with tennis rackets. It'll get more air.
I don't mean actually go do it. It's just be funny. It's just a funny image, isn't it? do it with CGI puffins, not real one.
Just
no, do it with teddy ones.
Teddy puffins.
Puffins. They won't get very far though.
No, they won't. I'm sorry to tell you, Nisha. Like,
Aww.
Teddy's not going to make it very far out to sea. Just the washed dead puffins come up next day.
God.
Just like the Teddy puffins.
I always remember like I went to a theme park. And I always remember because this was when Pokemon, well, I mean, it still is pretty big, but when it was like big when we were kids, like 9.
It's only the most popular IP in the world, yeah.
When you're younger, like when we were younger.
Pokemania was around, yeah.
Yeah, I remember like, 'cause it was all the rage at theme parks. I just remember seeing this one lone Pikachu just floating in the lake. And I was just like, no Pikachu!
The worst thing is it's going to electrify itself.
Probably already had.
Just like, that's why it's just dead in the water, like, yeah.
It's just weird how like moments like that aren't important. Just stick in your head. Like, why do I remember that? It's just a teddy floating in the water.
God knows why you've reminded me of this, but all I thought was like weird things that reminded me of theme parks. Just remember being in like Alton Towers. I think this was the last time I ever went because we were in like the middle of a queue that was like, you know, a 2-hour wait for a ride, and somebody found a wasp nest and broke it. And everyone was in this queue just like panic mode, like there's wasps coming for us, and I have a phobia of wasps. So that made it even worse. I was just like maybe like young teenager and just like pure just fear and adrenaline of like I can't move and there's wasps coming for us.
This is scarier than the rides.
That's probably the biggest thrill I got that day.
You've never been back since. The wasps.
Not they harbour wasp nests, no, they can fuck off. Imagine being like on It's a Small World and then you just hear the screams of like, wasps! Wasps are coming!
That's a horror film in the making right there.
I mean, It's a Small World is already a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's so creepy. Oh, did I tell you the time like we got stuck on it? I've only ever been stuck on it for like 5-10 minutes.
I mean, I feel like I might have, but I feel like I've heard numerous stories.
I've been stuck on it for like 5-10 minutes and it just like stops and the music stopped, but the dolls didn't stop. So there were just these silent moving dolls all just dancing and staring at us. And then one of my family members actually got stuck for so long, they had to pull everyone off the ride, like through the emergency exit. So they were there for like 45 minutes with that shit.
So we were mentioning in like a previous video how dolls are creepy.
Yeah.
That's creepy. Just the silence as well is what makes it worse.
Oh God, it's terrifying. Don't take your children to It's a Small World. The rest of Disney's great. So Nisha, like, I'm a big fan of Disneyland, are you?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I went to the one in America earlier this year.
Oh yes, you did.
But I only managed to go for the day, which is not enough time to explore Disney World. But I went to like Universal Studios.
You went to Disneyland or was it Disney World?
Disney World, but I have been to Disneyland like 2005 when I went there, and went to Disney World this year. But yeah, just for the day, it's obviously not enough time.
No, I've got this image of you just being like the headless chicken running around, like trying to get to things, like, but one day to see it all.
Well, at that point, I was aching because we'd been there a week and I'd done so much walking and queuing by that point. I was like, everything hurts.
Yeah, it can be tiring holidays, but you know, if you ever want to see Disneyland again, I guess we've got to ask for people to support us on Patreon because they're fucking expensive trips. And to be fair, us paying our wages is not really the same thing as asking for money to go to Disneyland, but maybe that can be a tier. Just like if we reach enough money, send us all to Disneyland.
Oh yeah, we go as a group.
Yeah, that's what we could make a little like fact Fiend blog about all being at Disney and like annoying Brad with Disney facts.
I like Disney facts.
I'm joking. You're the only one in the room that I could pick on. I know that Nisha likes Disney.
Carl's not here, pick on him.
We'll all berate Carl with like fun Disney facts and vlog it and that.
We'll all have heard from him.
Hey Carl, like, welcome back from your break. Would you like to be tortured in Disney World for a little bit? Like, seriously, if you want to, you know, help us pay our wages and not necessarily go to Disneyland, then yeah, think about supporting us on Patreon. It would really help us keep these lights on in the kitchen because we've had to downgrade out of an office.